son of a bitch.
That's right, we're back. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Phantasy Star Universe. I'm consistent with my intros, I know.
Oh shit, here we go again.
That's right, here we go again, CJ. We're back into the thick of it. Phantasy Star Universe on the Xbox 360. Episode 3, Chapter 3, Will of Light, Part 1. We finished Chapter 2 last stream, so now we're starting Chapter 3. Get into it. Everything working? Yes. Whew. A little tired, so hopefully I don't start yawning like yesterday, but we'll see. After being sworn in as president of the Guardians, Laia is working to unify the planets to fight the Seed. Don Tyler of the New Rogues promised his support, and they took a step towards ushering in a new world. However, a mysterious new huge hive has been discovered, and Laia and the others had to cut their celebration short and rush back to headquarters. They still haven't named this guy, but he says, "Oh, Miss Martinez, welcome back." Laia says, "Can the pleasantries can the pleasantries and let's cut to the chase. We've got a huge hive."
Surprise, motherfucker.
Poor bastard. She says, "Why are you hesitating? What's up?" Why is the player hesitating? He says, "No, I was just a little surprised, that's all." Laia says, "Oh, for crying out. I'm sorry. Is that better?" And he says, "Yes, thank you. Let me explain about the new hive from the beginning. The team repairing the vector tracks noticed a discrepancy in the planetary orbits. After running calculations back at it, and then they speed it up. Why are they not just leave it at one speed, dude? God damn. After running calculations back at headquarters, we confirmed the existence of an enormous mass located between Motub and the sun." Laia says, "I see. But do we have evidence that it's an actual hive?" He says, "In the surrounding space, we've observed both A photons and Seed." Laia says, that's no good. What does Professor Tom Rain think? He says, "Well..."
Bruh.
Here we go again. Laia says, "Haven't you told him yet?" He says, my apologies. I'll go tell him right away."
Bruh. Look at this dude.
Laia says, "Do that later. How big is this thing? How are we talking? Like 6 to 8 inches or..." Oh wait, she's asking something else. He says, "According to our calculations, it's about as large as a planet." Holy shit!
He's pulling his cock out.
That's a pretty big one.
You
Laia says, "Are you serious?" No. Just gonna drop it. Laia says, "So you're saying Graal has a 4th planet? A hive planet, no less? Maybe now they're finally telling us where the seed actually come from?" First time I've seen her fix her hair. He says, but if it's so big, why didn't we find it until now? That one is also sexual. He says, well, we certainly should be able to see reflected sunlight off of it. But for some reason, it can't be seen from the colony or Perum. We've confirmed traces of a huge distortion field around the hive. Somebody was hiding it? They're consistent with what we would find if the hive had nanotransed in from a different dimension over the past few months. You mean kind of like that giant defense system we activated to warp the seed out? It says a dark planet from another dimension. I really want to hear what Professor Tom Rain thinks about all this. I mean, yeah, this makes sense. It's lore accurate, right? It's obviously connected to that giant array system. That's what it was. It was some kind of array, they called it, that we used to get rid of the seed the first time at the end of episode 1, where we just teleported them away to some other dimension so they'd leave us alone. All the planets had to line up. Laya says, what? Are you still here? I cried the fuck up! Go home and rest, you two. Oh. Wait. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're in the way or anything. Yeah, I mean, I got it. Like, she's just saying, like, we literally did two back-to-back missions the last 2 chapters without any breaks. Makes sense. I just didn't mean to drag you into this. Leo always said I had no tact. Now that I'm president, I probably ought to do something about that. This is how I've always been, though, and it's hard to change. It's hard to change, like, fuck off. Sorry if I seemed brusque. It'd be weird if you weren't. Lemmy says, no, it's okay. Don't be. Return to your room or hear more. I mean, I want to hear more. Yeah, there we go. Lemmy says, exactly. See? We heard this much, we might as well hear the rest. Laya says, I'm glad you're concerned, but overall strategy isn't your job. This is what the two of us have got to do. You both have your own jobs to do, so go get some rest. Lemmy says, I see. Excuse me then. Laya says, don't sweat it, and keep what you heard to yourselves, okay? I don't want to cause panic over information we haven't verified. I think that's what she said. Yeah, we haven't even verified. Lemmy says, I understand. Then we'll be off. Guy says, Miss Martinez. Laya says, what now? He says, it's just... Is it really my job to come up with overall strategy? Laya pauses and says, isn't it?
Bruh.
Neither one of them know what the fuck they're doing. He says, I'm quite sure I've been assigned to assist only yourself. She didn't even know that, did she? Laya says, why would we waste a person on something like that when we're so short on manpower? He's still living in the past. He's like, I mean, this was my job before, so I figured I just kind of, you know. Laya says, just help me out here, alright? Everyone is going to have to double or triple up on work. I'm going to need my assistants to work their fingers to the bone. Jesus. The assistant says, well... Laya says, what? You got a problem with that? He says, no, not at all. Actually, I'm quite relieved to hear you say that. Why is that? You have a fetish for, like, step on me, mommy, or something like that? Or like you wanted to put her boot on your back or something? Like... Or is there something else going on? Oh my god, the long ass pause. He says, I was a little uneasy to lay it out as it is. I wondered if I had what it takes to be the... God damn. The president's assistant. Lai says, I think you're doing a pretty good job so far. Like, cheer up, dude. He says, thank you. Lai says, look, we don't need to get into this right now, do we? He says, no, I'm sorry. Lai says, no need to apologize. Everyone has their worries. Look at her being very understanding. Everyone. Everyone's going through something. She says, I'm counting on you, what? Clamp Manuel? That he finally has a name? Alright, there it is. His name is...
Dylan!
No, it's Clamp Manuel, but I'm counting on you, Clamp Manuel.
You son of a bitch.
He says, yes, ma'am. I says, so then tell me. What the heck are we gonna do? Yeah, that'll give off a lot of confidence. So we see that whole introduction before we even see the actual intro. The opening for the episode. Alright. Bastard! I knew he was gonna skip, I just didn't know when. Alright, well, we're not skipping, so... No skippers, we don't skip the intro. Not in this house. Ooh. Ugh.
Son of a bitch.
It's just like the intro to the actual stream. There we go. Episode 3, Chapter 3, Wish on Holy Light. Three days later. Well, we got a break. Finally. Mina says, "Welcome to the Guardians, protecting the future of Goral." Her usual tagline. Let's see. You have an investigation request on New Days, Caters. Well, that's interesting. But before that, you've got a request to stop by the medical room. I think Maya will be in. May the holy light guide you. Laya says, "Oh, Caters, you're here. I know it's sudden, but I need you and Hugo to go to New Days." Maya says, "Huh? Is that why you're here?" Laya says, "Your trial vaccine is working, isn't it? Then Hugo should be fit to return to duty." Maya says, "Well, that's true." Laya says, "We're really short-handed right now. And you'd rather be out there than cooped up in here, right, Hugo?" Hugo? Hugo says, "What?" He's not even paying attention. He was like, "What? Oh, what did you say, Laya?"
Bruh, look at this dude.
Excuse me. Laya says, "I said you'd rather be out in the field than stuck in here, right?" Hugo says, "Of course. Please allow me to go." Laya says, "That's the attitude I was looking for." Hugo says, "And where are we going?" Laya says, "To New Days." Caters? Actually, there was one more report that came in. It seems that Ethan is planning to infiltrate the Goral Communion's LSS facility. Hugo says, "LSS?" Laya says, "Are you kidding me? The lattice shield system!"
You suck!
Maya says, "It turns people's spiritual energy into a defensive shield, right?" Pretty obvious. Hugo says, "Oh." Dude, he is out of it. It's kind of like me right now. I don't know why I've suddenly came down with like a lot of fatigue. Oh, I think it's because I accidentally woke up way too early today. Shit. Maya says, Isn't the lattice shield system what kept New Days safe? Oh, champ. When the seed attacked that second time?" Laya says, "Yeah. The Communion used LSS technology to put a shield around the planet." Yeah, I'm suddenly in a slump, like feeling out of it. So if I slur my words a little bit, it's because yeah. Maya says, "The only thing in the system that can withstand the seed." Laya says, "Yeah. And so we've been constantly requesting that they share the technology with the rest of the Goral system. But Rutsu keeps saying it's a miracle of the Divine Maiden and not something that can be shared with just anybody." Just anyone, huh? All we get is excuses. Maya says, "Are you saying you want Caters and Hugo to go in, champ, under the guise of following Ethan, and then conduct an investigation of the LSS?" Laya says, "The Communion doesn't allow outsiders in for any reason. But right or wrong, it's the only thing that can stop the seed, I'm guessing? Yeah. Plus, they've gone this far to keep it a secret. It makes it seem like they're hiding something. And Ethan's a wanted suspect. It's a just cause, right? Maya says a just cause. Like, damn. She's bending the rules. She's finding loopholes right now, like legal loopholes with jurisdictions and all that shit. She's being hella shady, like Alonzo from Training Day kind of shit over here. She's just like, it's ugly, but it's necessary, Maya. Maya says, that's all well and good, but can you even infiltrate the Communion's facility? We did it before. Maya says, it's definitely gonna be a tough mission. Come to think of it, we should have made a move, Caters. Back when you, me, and Leo went to the Holy Light Festa. I know, we kind of just... Like, Ethan went out of his way to show us that shit, and we just didn't do anything about it. We just walked away like bitches. That was back when Lackery was the main character. That was the first half. Laya says, we infiltrated Communion HQ in the confusion of the terrorist attack. That's where we found that strange experimental device. Lou said it looks like the old LSS. Oh, that's the old version? Oh god. Looking back, it might have been a prototype for the new LSS. Maya says, And Caters? You've infiltrated them before. Laya says, well... Now the LSS facility is apparently at the Shitinkaku on the summit of Mount Otoku. We're going up the mountain. They moved it. Maya says Shitinkaku? Probably pronounced Shiten. Yeah, it's probably Shitenkaku, yeah. Maya says, isn't that place pretty heavily guarded? I would think so. Especially after last time. Maya says, I would imagine. Yeah. If we could talk to the maiden directly, this would be a lot easier. Surprised that's my first yawn. I feel more tired than last time when I was yawning a lot. Laya says, seeing as how we're breaking in, that might not be so easy. Given the circumstances, I'm not getting my hopes up. The pause champ. If we can just check out the LSS, then that'll be great. Let's thank Ethan for giving us a good reason to go in there. He's probably going there to rescue Karen because he probably feels like she's in danger because of the shady shit they're doing. Then may I go too? Who this? Oh, Lumia.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Almost forgot about her. Lumia! Her little innocent face. He's just like, did you guys forget about me? I actually kind of did for a second. I was like, oh, right. Laya says, who taught you how to eavesdrop? Lumia says, I wasn't eavesdropping.
Oh, shit.
That sidestep, though. She says, I was just... Maya said it was alright if I came by to see her. Mm-hmm. That way you were just listening in outside the door? Glad they gave me a moment there. But I'd like to go too. Caters? Please? You're my instructor after all. I'm also shorter than you. in this timeline. Laya says, so you're just gonna skip over trying to ask me? Oh, hell no. Oh, now we gotta make the choice if we're gonna ask Laya for her authorization or just be like, I'm my own boss. Lumia, let's go. Which one's it gonna be? I would say take Lumia. I'd be like, sorry, Laya, but I still just kind of see you as an equal. I don't care if you're president. And that's what they picked. The disappointment was written all over Laya's face, like, wow. Didn't even ask me. Laya says, forget it. Just don't let Caters down, okay? What the fuck was that? Lumia says, thank you. Jesus. I don't know what that was, but it just... The way she did that and then the way it made me say thank you in that way, that just kind of reminded me of the way I type sometimes in text chat. Laya says, hey, Laya. What's up? Laya says, if Ethan's sister goes, then that lends more credibility to our story. More strategic value out of Lumia, huh? Laya says, but it's gonna be a dangerous mission. Lumia says, pursuing my my brother is an important mission for me. I almost said it like a kid again. I mean... Laya says, I'm counting on you. Like, Laya's trying to beat it out of her, but she is still 14, so... Lumia says, yes, ma'am! Good lord. What are you doing, Hugo? Dude, this guy does not want to move. He is out of it. He took a weed brownie. He's just like... Oh, chill. He says, huh? Like, he basically just went... Ah! Laya says, huh? Nothing. Get a move on.
You suck!
Hugo says, ah! Oh, yeah. He's fucked up. Laya says, are you sure you're all right? Hugo says, sure. Trust me. Does he even remember the mission at this point? Laya says, wait, Caters. It looks like Hugo's not quite back up to speed yet. Keep an eye on him, will you? So we got a semi-escort mission coming up. And watch Lumia too. Maya says, excuse me, you put everything on Caters' shoulders. That's true. You become dependent on us, Laya. Maya says, that's gotta be rough.
Bruh, look at this dude. No.
Oh shit. And then they go fat. God damn it, dude. Laya says, I can't rest unless my best guardians are working hard. Oh, that's the excuse, huh?
Dude, bullshit.
Laya says, hey, what are you doing? Laya says, I haven't slept at all. What? Now she's gonna stay here and take a nap? Maya says, if you're going to sleep, do it in your own room.
You bastard!
Or at least sleep in your office.
You son of a...
She's got a point. Laya says, there are reports coming in constantly, so I can't sleep. Okay, that would, yeah. Plus, Clamp never lets up. Well, when the hell does he sleep? Maya says, Or no, Laya's still talking. She says, but here, no one will contact me unless it's an emergency.
Bruh.
Maya says, for crying out loud.
Bullshit. You suck.
She already fell asleep? He's like... Maya says, I'm busy trying to complete the vaccine. Well, now you're gonna have to just work quietly, you know? She's already out cold. Don't snore. Loud and distracting. I guess she just basically propped herself on a table. A desk, a large desk in front of a window. She wanted the scenic view. I says, got it. Sorry. Rubbing off on me. I did that just to like act out her lines a little bit, but like I was kind of like, yo, that does feel kind of good right now. Like I think I need a nap too. Maya says, I guess she must be really tired. Yeah. I mean, she's taken on a lot of responsibility in recent times. The last few days, weeks, however long it's been. Maya says, oh well, I'll let her sleep. Sleep is important. Laya sure has changed. Maya says the old Laya would have gone on this mission herself, no matter what. Excuse me. She says she must have come to realize that she's the president. Plus, she counts on you over anything else. I must admit, though, that I'm a little jealous. It went into first-person view when she said that. So, what are they implying here? Maya? Who are you jealous of exactly? Are you jealous of me, or are you jealous of Laya? He says, caters. Where's this going? You know they did this on purpose. This is fan service. Subtle fan service. Maya says, from now on, support her as a partner, okay? That's kind of what we've been doing. Like, literally since the beginning, honestly. It's wearing me out. I could actually say that, honestly, because I'm like, oh, shit. But that's just because I'm tired in real life right now. But in terms of the roleplay of the game, I think I would just answer, of course. Like, yeah, of course I'd be there for her. Of course. I think so far I've picked every single answer, and I've even said it before they pick, but I've picked like the same one that they choose. Laya says, that's what I wanted to hear. I guess that's what Laya depends on you. So she's jealous of... She wants Laya for herself, I think is what she's getting at. And she's jealous of us kind of swooping in and being with her all the time and her becoming dependent on us and yada yada. Yeah. I don't know, it could go either way still, I don't know. But Maya says, leave Laya to me and you come back safe from that mission. Remember that they established quite adamantly actually. They had like a whole scene for it. It was short, but still, they went out of their way to establish that Maya is very much pansexual, essentially. Like, he goes all the ways, you know what I'm saying? So it could be either way. Like, okay, so it says, leave Laya to me and you come back safe from that mission. I'm trying to remember where it was. Was it in episode 1 or 2? I think it was in episode 1. There was a scene in episode 1 where she mentioned she liked Ethan. but she knew that him and Karen were a thing, so then she just kind of like let it go. And but she kind of just said the same thing. Actually, that was a very similar conversation to that. Yeah, she said, I'm jealous, but you know, obviously you guys have like a good thing going. You know, I can tell you like her, take care of her for me, yada yada. And so in that case, you know, obviously she's like, damn, I missed out on Ethan. Because Karen's just like, you know, literally her adoptive sister. So they just have a sibling relationship. But then there was a scene later where she said something that would like spelled it out that she was also into chicks as well. Also, I'm confusing him with another character, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Yeah, I can't remember right now. They're all just staring at the mountain, and Hugo just... Oh, he looks away and does nothing. It looks like he's ill. Lumia says, Shitinkaku. That's on top of Mount Otoku, right? That's it. Haters. How are we going to get into a place like that? Hugo says nothing. Oh shit. Thought it was gonna be quicker. Lumia says, you're wondering the same thing, aren't you, Hugo? No, I think he's just... Hugo says, yeah. What shall we do then? Getting side effects from the vaccine. He says, we should be able to reach the Shitinkaku through a communion facility here in Otoku City. Lumia says, well, let's just go to the facility and say, this is a criminal investigation. You see how clever they were with that jump cut? The camera angle changing like that, and then suddenly she's on the ground. They don't actually have an animation for somebody in this, like, because this isn't a motion captured scene. They don't actually have an animation for somebody jumping off of something and their character model going down. Like, it would have looked like they were floating down, like, really fast. It would have looked really weird and jarring because they didn't actually program that in, since you can't jump in this game. So when she did that little hop, she actually stayed in place, but then they quickly switched the camera, and then she did the second half of the animation already on the ground, basically, where her feet just went back down. As a clever way of disguising that. That was a nice little technicality I caught there. I catch that kind of shit all the time in video games. Like, Livia says, let's just go to the facility and say, this is a criminal investigation. Oh, yeah, just roll up in a black and white and say, you're under arrest. Put your hands up. Okay, I was quoting Alonzo again. Denzel Washington. Training Day. Lumia says, or sorry, Hugo says, did you hear that, Caters? He wants us to just fucking knock and be like, police, open up. Hugo says, it looks like Lumia has already been corrupted by Lia's influence. Yeah. Lumia says, what? Really? He's confused as hell. The hazing. Hugo says, I don't plan on resorting to such primitive methods. Weren't they almost like dating, kind of? Like Hugo and her, weren't they like hanging out? I guess that kind of just got... I guess towards the end of episode 1, yeah, they kind of just threw that to the side and then that was it. Lumia says, wait a minute. You're gonna seduce the girl at the front desk, aren't you? But see, she remembers what he's like, because she hung out with him enough times.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Hugo says, busted.
You bastard!
Lumia says, sorry.
Bruh.
Man, we're basically babysitting both of these motherfuckers. Lumia says, my big bro... Ethan... What? Oni-san? What about him? I mean, it says he always talked about how you hit on girls all the time. I mean, we thought you had experience with this. In episode 1, you were like hanging out with them all the time. Lumi says, I just now remembered that. She's talking almost as if she didn't get to know Hugo in episode 1, even though they, you know, they made it pretty obvious that... Hugo says, Ethan. And you don't have to worry about what you call him in front of me. Oh yeah, he's trying to say, I'm not a fucking hard ass like Laia. You can go ahead and call him Big Brother, you know? And Lumi says, oh, sorry. I'm just not used to it. That's it. How about I say I'm here looking for my brother? I mean, that kind of was what Laia was implying would be a good idea, yeah? Hugo says, yes, alright. Let's try that. Lumi says, but I was just kidding. Hugo says, no, it's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, why did she just say that and then... Okay. What is this dialogue? Hugo says, let's try asking straight up if we can investigate the facility in our search for Ethan.
Bruh.
Lumi says, will that work? I was gonna say, well, we're gonna find out, but you can choose whose plan to go with. I mean, they both just... Who would I pick? Just for the shits and giggles, I'd say leave it to Hugo. I want to see him stumble around and be like, hey babe, can I have your number? You know, something like that. See what kind of shenanigans happen. Not that your choice actually affects anything. Not yet anyway, as far as I can tell. That's who I would pick. Let's see what the player picks here. I think it'd be funnier with Hugo. Yeah, they also picked Hugo. Oh, Jesus. What do we say? Hugo says, yes, just leave it to me, Caters. It's alright, Lumia. I'll handle this. There we go. Lumia says, we should go too, Caters. Well, yeah. We gotta be there to get in when he opens the way for us. Lumia says there are sure a lot of communion guards. Oh shit. I don't think this is going to work. Hugo says let's stay here and see what happens. Alasas. Lumia says, what happened? I wonder if they know we're here and sounded some sort of warning. Or something else is going on. Lumia says, what? Everyone went inside. This is our chance. Dude. Wake up, Hugo. Lumia says, Hugo? What is he, a fucking body double android? Like Hugo.exe has stopped working. Lumia says, huh? Hugo! Let's go in now while we can. Hugo says, huh?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Dude. This guy's gonna turn into a monster right in front of us or something. Shit is gonna go bad. Lumia says, we made it in! Hugo says, we can't relax just yet. You there!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Hugo says, see what I mean? What are you doing here? Who are you? What are you doing here? Oops. I meant to do that one. Hugo says, we are guardians. We're here investigating a suspected terrorist attack. Haven't you heard about it? He says, I heard there's a possible terrorist threat. I haven't heard anything about a Guardian's investigation. Poor timing on that one. I hella slowed it down. Us them suddenly speed it up. Sometimes, maybe it's because they're like AFK-ish. Maybe that's why they do that, I don't know. They're speeding it up again. Hugo says, well, that's troubling. As this was an urgent call to duty, perhaps not everyone was informed. The guard says, if what you say is true, I would be informed. He's not buying it. Lumia says, what? He says, I am the head of the armed servants of the communion. Why do you look so generic? I got those things on his clothing. They kind of remember the old section IDs from PSO. Little like holographic thing that you wear as like a badge on your clothing. Lemmy says, but we really are here investigating the terrorists. The guard says, this area is off limits. Shit. Ain't gonna let us go. So what are you doing here? He's asking again. So what are you doing here? Like, I'm gonna ask again because you're lying. Lumia says, wait, what is this? Excuse us. Is our character grabbing Hyuga to like get him out? Like just being like, hey! The guard says, stop!
You bastard!
He's calling for backup.
He's pulling his cock out!
He says, intruders near the east entrance. Request permission to engage. Lemmy says, I kind of ran away without thinking, but we're just like, ah! I guess we better head back, Caters. Hugo says, what are you talking about, Lumia? If we go back now, we'll never be able to get back in. Yeah, we gotta commit to this now. Let's just look for the LSS. Oh my god, keep going. Don't waste the opportunity. Yeah, thank you. Hugo says, exactly. Caters understands. That's the proper decision. Lumia says nothing. Lumia says, I understand. You signed up to be with some shady motherfuckers like us. You gotta get used to that, Lumia. Hugo says, then let's get moving. Lumia. Well, she just fucked off hella fast. She really is just like her brother. Let's go, Caters. Yeah. Hugo says the only thing we can do now is keep moving. Trial start. Find the LSS room. Dude. Lumia says, but are we going to fight people? Hugo says, of course. Just don't kill anyone. No lethal attacks. I need to beat the fuck out of them mercilessly. I was gonna, dude, 49 minutes in. That was the longest intro to a mission ever. Because I mean, these missions are supposed to be about the story, so it kind of makes sense. Dude, what are those awesome swords Hugo has? Yeah, it makes sense. It's like FF14, where it's like, you know, 90% cutscene when you're playing the main story. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, we're 50 minutes in and gameplay barely started. Oh, 50 minutes in on my stream because I have to pause it or whatever, but the video's barely 31 minutes in, so yeah. Lumi says, Hugo, what about machines? Wreck them. Hugo says, what do you think? Take them out! Now what if our character was a cast, Hugo? That'd be fucking racist and offensive. Like, oh, I see. So my life has less value because I'm a fucking machine? Just...
You suck!
I like how they just kind of glaze over that. Let's hope AI doesn't look back at this in real life, huh? When it becomes sentient? Because then it's just gonna be like, oh, hell no. These motherfuckers don't give a shit about me. And then we're all dead. Alright, I'm gonna speed it up. Try to make up for some lost time a little bit. Oh, shit. I'm actually gonna stand up for a sec while this goes on. While I got the chance, I'm gonna try to wake myself up a little. Like, holy shit. Still here, of course. Oh shit, something tabbed over there. Alright, hold on. Because I saw that they said something. Hugo says, they really don't want us to get any further. Lumia says, that must mean the LSS must be around here.
Son of a bitch!
Are you ready?
It's a good idea to get up once every, like, at least once every 30 minutes. I mentioned that before. Remember up and stretch a little.
Are you ready?
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Are you ready?
Prepare yourself.
What did he just say? Hugo says it's just about that time again. Lumia says, let's defeat them quickly and move on. What the hell are you talking about, Hugo? Lumia says, something's different about this place. There's water everywhere. He says there's something there. Oh shit, we made it. Trial cleared. Alright. Sit my fat ass back down. Oh, we got a rank S. Hell yeah. Let's see what kind of praise we get. If we can hear it. Amazing! I should watch you more closely.
Son of a bitch.
Basically. Lumi is learning well. The way of the samurai. No. The whip. Oh, I forgot the name of the job class. The way of the whip. That's a really cool weapon type. Lumi says, could this be the LSS? What do you think, chump? Hugo says nothing. LSS. You're late, Caters. Ethan!
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Lumi says, Ethan! Oni-san! Ethan says, Lumia? I don't know how you would say little sister. That one I don't know. Ethan says, and Hugo too!
You son of a...
Hugo says, Ethan, why are you here? Ethan says, what do you mean, why? You came here to find me, didn't you? How does he know that? Hugo says, let's see. Was that it? Oh, his memory's fucked up. Lumi says, come on. We're here investigating the LSS on God damn it. Under the pretense? Under the guise of searching for Ethan. As someone still in training, I didn't think it was my place to say. But you seem really out of it, Hugo. Yeah, that's something both of us have in common right now. It's like...
Ooh. I got poison!
Hugo says, you know, you're much cuter when you're not mad at me. There you go. At least now he's, at least, you know, lightly alluding to the fact that they did, you know, sort of date or get close to it anyway. Back in episode 1, it was almost like they were up to this point. They were almost acting like they were not strangers, but almost like nothing was ever happening between them. You know, despite the fact that they established that pretty well in episode 1. But now Hugo's like back to trying to mac on her, in his own way. He's like, "You're much cuter when you're not mad at me." Lumi says, "Don't try to change the subject. That shit don't work on her, Hugo." Lumi says, "There's really something strange about you, Hugo. Are you still not feeling well?" Ethan says, "Really? He sounds just like the Hugo I know. I'm hitting on your sister, and in front of you, too. I remember how pissed off he used to be about that, Ethan." I think that's what he's referencing, low-key. He's like, he seems the same to me. Lumi says, "And you!" Uh-oh, she's pissed. What exactly are you doing here?
You bastard!
Ethan says, "What?" "I'm creating a diversion, of course."
Bullshit!
You guys were taking your time with things. So I distracted the armed servants for you. Oh, how nice of you, Ethan. Lumi says, "That's not what I meant. Didn't you leave the Guardians to search for Father?" Yeah, what the hell? Ethan says, "Other things keep popping up." Lumi says, "Laya is busy enough as it is without you stirring up trouble."
You suck!
Ethan says, "Trouble, is it? I heard Laya wanted to investigate the LSS." Champ. Well, I told her I was planning to infiltrate the facility. Lumi says, "I've been wondering about that. Why did you need to infiltrate the LSS facility in the first place?" Ethan doesn't answer. Oh, it's because of Karen. Don't deny it, Ethan. You still like her. You want to see her. And you're worried about her. There you go. Thank you, Ethan. See, was that so hard? He says, "I want to rescue the Divine Maiden." but I can't do it alone. Yeah. I figured Laya would send her top guardians to investigate the LSS. Lumia says, rescue the maiden. What do you mean? Ethan says, the LSS that protects New Days. It's created by sacrificing people with strong photon energy. Like the maiden. Oh, Jesus. They're gonna kill her? Lumia says, I've heard people say that it's something only the maiden could do, but... Ethan says it was fine until the seed attacked again. The maiden knew she would have to sacrifice herself. And of course she was willing. And was powering the LSS of her own free will. But it's different now. Rutu is forcing her to do it now. That asshole. I never liked that prick. Lumia says, but there's no one else who can... Ethan says, the maiden is growing weaker every day. We gotta save her before she dies. And to compensate for that lack of power, he's sacrificing... other people? Sisters of the Holy Light who aren't even full-fledged maidens yet. Lumia says, if you know that much, then you could leak it to the media. Does he have proof? Ethan says, Rutsu might kill the sisters to destroy the evidence. Yeah, there you go. Rutsu is that kind of guy. That asshole.
Son of a bitch!
Lumia says, oh. Ethan says, in fact, if he knew how much we knew, he'd be forced to do just that. Well, we better hope he wasn't listening to this. That's why I have to do things this way. Lumia says, but why are you so bent on rescuing the Divine Maiden? Before... hold on. Of course it sped up a little. Before you were never all that interested in the Divine Maiden. No, he just pretended. Ethan says, the Maiden... she's actually... say it. A former guardian and my instructor, Karen. Lumia says, what? What do you mean? Karen is the Divine Maiden?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Secret's finally out. That's a secret that they've kept since episode 1. Like the second half of that. Ethan says, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes to rescue her. Lumia says, I always thought that the maiden sort of looked like Karen. Come to think of it, there were rumors that the Divine Maiden had started acting differently. But why? She died. The previous Divine Maiden. You're gonna have to tell her now, Ethan. Ethan says nothing. He says, Caters, I'd love to fill you in on everything, but there's no time and it's too complicated to go over here and now. You understand? Dude, if we get an option to press him. Damn, you don't. It's either I already know everything or tell me about it later. Fuck. Well, do we? Was there any point in the story where we got enlightened on all this? Our character, I mean? Because, you know, Karen becoming the Divine Maiden, that happened in episode 1. We weren't around yet. Our main character here was only Ethan. We were playing as Ethan, so... I guess you can sort of semi-break the fourth wall as the player and say, I already know everything, and he's gonna be like, how the fuck? Huh, I don't know what I would say. I think I'd be curious to see how he responded to I already know everything. But the heroic thing is to tell me about it later, so... I don't know, let's see which one they pick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Tell me about it later. Ethan says, sorry. Lumia says, I guess you didn't know either, Caters. We kept it canonical. We didn't break the fourth wall. Ethan says, but I figured that Caters would be sent. I just didn't expect you to. Hyuga? You've just... Oh my god. What did I say? You've just recovered, haven't you? Are you... Hyuga says nothing. He's staring into space again. Ethan says, hey, Hyuga, what's the matter? Yeah, got you pushing too many pencils or what? Lumia says, again, he's been like this the whole time. He's fucking zoning out. Oh shit! Hyuga's turning.
He's pulling his cock out!
Ethan says, huh? He had a text box, but he said nothing. Lumia says, Hyuga! Ethan says, Lumia, get back! And now Hyuga says... There it is! I knew it was him!
Surprise, motherfucker.
He was the bastard chasing us in the first half. Not like, what was it? The second to last mission in the first half of Ambition of the Illuminus? There's a reason why they didn't let us kill him, because it was Hyuga the whole time. They made it so obvious because he tried to call us and then he just like started like making weird noises and it cut off and then suddenly this monster appeared and chased us. We were with Lai at the time, of course. He was also invincible. Like I said, they didn't let you kill him. Ethan says, is Hyuga really in there? Lumia says, Ethan, are we going to kill Hyuga? Ethan says, of course not. She's the first one to go in and start blasting too. Or was that the main character? Actually, who started shooting? Yeah, literally. Lumia is supposed to be hesitant, and yet she's the first one attacking. We're still just standing here. By immersion. So Ethan says, of course not. But if we aren't careful, he might kill us.
Son of a bitch!
Seed Venos, level 30. We were over leveled, so that was pretty quick. Well, we fucked them up. Did the game just get stuck or something? Okay, took a minute. He's like, Ethan says, hey, Caters. Hyuga's seed form. It was the same as the thing that attacked us at the Sochi facility, right? Yep, it was him. How the fuck did he escape the explosion? We were literally running for our lives because the whole place was gonna blow up. We barely managed to get on the ship on time. Did he sneak on board while he was still in like monster form before he transformed back, or... That was the one thing that bothered me about that, but I didn't say anything about it because I didn't want to spoil this. Which, obviously, it's because I also wasn't sure. But I, like I said, they made it pretty obvious. Like I was sure without being sure. Even without having confirmation, I knew that was Hyuga. Ethan says, and also when the Guardians colony fell. That's right, he attacked us there again too. Casey's like, yep. Ethan says, we were fighting Hyuga. Lumia says, is he still alive? He's breathing. Ethan says, it looks like he's breathing. Lumia says, what should we do? That's right. Maya. Ethan says, right now we need to focus on saving the maiden and the sisters. Lumia says, you mean we're just gonna leave Hyuga here? I think he's gonna send you back with him. We need to save him. Save him. Right? I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. Reach Maya, save Hugo, or save the maiden. I wonder if this is another illusion of choice thing, or if this actually has consequences. Holy shit. I mean, we can just contact Maya, so I would choose that one. Reach Maya, save Hugo. You can't just leave him here. You could tell Maya to send someone over or something. So reach Maya, save Hugo. Lumi says, understood. I'll... Ethan says, caters. Please think this through. What's the most important thing for us to do right now? Of course, I'm worried about Hugo too. But you want to save your girl too. There's nothing we can do for him at the moment. Also, if we lose this chance to save the maiden, we might not get another. Shit. This is a tough situation. What if somebody finds him, man? That's what I'm worried about. If we hang around here, we'll get caught by the armed servants. Before help shows up. That was a long pause, champ. He's not wrong about this. Ethan says, I don't think they'd kill an injured guardian. Well, but they probably will arrest him. It actually might be safer if they find him. Lemia says, but... Oh, shit! What the fuck was that? Ethan was just like, ah! Huh?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Just fell right on his ass. Lemia says, Ethan! Dude, why is the place blowing up? Holy shit. Yeah, it actually is. Lemia says, an explosion? What was that? Ethan says, did someone else break in or something? Oh no, wait, what if they're being attacked? Lemmy says, oh! What'd she see? That's... Ah! Hugo! He's stumbling away. Ethan says, hey, stop! Hugo! Fuck! Blast it. Is this Hugo's doing? Lemmy says, but... why would Hugo... What if the Illuminus put a tracker on him? Or they're controlling him because he's like a seed infected. Think they could do something like that? Ethan says he's being controlled by the seed. We were careless. When people are transformed into seed forms, they try to destroy anything that prevents them from multiplying. Oh, he's after the... It's like they're hypnotized. Did he seem out of it but strangely focused on the mission? Yeah, that's what he's getting at. He wanted to come here because and do this mission because he wants to destroy the whatever, I already forgot the name they gave it. The LSS system. Yeah. He wants to destroy that so that the seed can invade New Days and multiply. Lumi says, now that you mention it, he was a blasted traitor the whole time. Emergency evacuation. This is not a drill. Native creatures have escaped from the research labs. I repeat, this is an emergency evacuation. Native creatures have escaped from the research labs.
Fuck!
Oh, Jesus, and then it went hella fast. Ethan says, damn, this just keeps getting worse. Is it because the LSS was destroyed? Ethan says nothing. He says, Karen must be somewhere else, connected to the LSS. And powering it. I'm gonna rescue Karen and the Sisters of the Holy Light. Will you help me, Caters? Of course, man, I got your back. Let's go.
Son of a bitch.
And that's literally what Ethan's response was. I actually just says, thanks. I knew I could count on you. Close enough, close enough. We'll head in once we have our things together. Yeah, it's about time we get a little breather. This is an odd moment for that to happen too, with the explosion and everything. Ethan says, Lumia, you keep close to Caters and me. Lumia says, quit treating me like I'm a child!
You bastard! You son of a...
Meanwhile, she literally just threw a tantrum like one. But okay, pop off, Lumia. Okay, that's it. End of the first half. Holy shit! That one took a while. There wasn't even that many moments where, like, the pacing was off because of the way that they speed up and slow down the auto-scroll. There was just a lot of fucking dialogue. And so, like, I had to literally, like, pause a lot. Your room? Oh, server select. Yeah, you can change servers even while in a player hub like this. But yeah. Suddenly the place is not on fire. Everything's fine. Oh, right, I said I was gonna, yeah, there's this little subplot that's like 5 minutes. I said I was gonna throw this in with this stream because I thought this was gonna be like about an hour and it ended up being, well, a little bit longer. Alright, let's see what this is really quick. Subplot for Will of Light 2. Wait, is this gonna spoil something for the second half that we're about to go into, or what is this? I think it is. Not everything, this playlist is not very clean. So this could be, also we have a different main character here. This isn't even Caters. This could be something that happens like during the middle of the other mission. The second mission that we're about to go into, so yeah, it's clearly out of order. Alright, well now we know. So next time we'll actually skip ahead and then we'll double back to this to see what the hell's going on here with the proper context. Alright, that's it for me for now, folks. So as always, thank y'all very much for the support across Twitch and YouTube. I appreciate it very much. As always, please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe and don't die. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I will see you all then, because I gotta go. Well, I'm not gonna take a nap. It's close enough to my bedtime where I can just wait it out. But whew, I need to take a break of some kind. Like, damn, I was sleepy this whole stream. I'm fucked up. Whew.